Okay, so welcome, Victoria. We're going to start with the final class today. We have this, hold on, this academic essay, as we, as we've seen here. Yes, here we have a sample response. Okay, so I'm gonna respond to this.
Teacher, are you?
Can you repeat that? What did you say?
I can't hear you.
Can you repeat that? The internet, I think it's the
Now I
conversation
can hear
breaking up.
you. I can,
You can
yeah, I
hear
can
me?
hear you right.
Okay, so you can hear me now. Everything is okay, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so I'm gonna respond to this. Okay, so here we have the professor. They're discussing the use of standardized assessment in university admissions. While standardized provide a common measure of student abilities, they face criticism for potentially putting certain students at disadvantage and not reflecting overall academic potential. Do you think that the benefits of a standardized test outweighs the drawbacks, or should universities reconsider their use in admission? Okay, so okay, which are significant for success in university and beyond. They don't fully capture students' potential abilities, thus creating a complete picture of applicants. Okay, so uh, Raymond, okay, hold on, I want to write. Raymond's perspective advocating standardized tests as advocating for standardized tests uh, universities using standardized tests for advocating for uh, as the as okay, hold on. as essentials, requirements, for universities deeply resonates with me. As a matter of fact, I watched an interview of Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, who said that he essentially asked their SAT score to his perspective to to his potential job potential to uh, the people who wanted to join his enterprise. Uh, I think that this is because the SAT measures generally your abilities, your knowledge, but most importantly, it measures the degree to which you are committed to uh, measures it measures the degree to which you are committed degree measures the degree of commitment in your studies. It uh, gives you a sense of how responsible that particular person has been in school. Uh, furthermore, furthermore, uh, okay, so let's stop right there, and then let's talk about the other opinion. I find Monique's stand less convincing. Even though traits such as creativity and social skills are important. The fact that you can not measure them doesn't mean, does not mean you should ignore the scores of uh, other skills you can measure. Uh, there are hmm, she states that it provides uh, an incomplete picture of applicants. She says it states, in spite of this fact, uh, there is no way you can really provide a complete picture. Should you ignore uh, standardized tests, it makes the job of the HR personnel much more uh, uh, in addition, there, in my experience, uh, the ideas only make up for a small percentage of the work, but what really matters is the effort you put into your work. Of the your sign. No. Hence, it makes sense to care about standardized tests, or they measure the effort students put in it to get a high grade. Okay, so here you have it. Okay, Raymond's perspective, which advocates for standardized testing as an essential requirement for universities, deeply resonates with me. As a matter of fact, I saw an interview, or I watched an interview of Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, who said that he essentially asked people who wanted to join his company, ask people who wanted to join his company their SAT scores. I think that this is because the SAT generally measures your knowledge, but most importantly, it measures the degree of commitment in your studies. I would see here, to your studies. It gives you an idea of how responsible that particular person has been in school. I find money stands less convincing, even though traits such as creativity and social skills are important. Just because you can measure them cannot measure them, does that mean you should ignore them? Or other skills? You can measure. She states that it provides an incomplete picture of applicant. In spite of this fact, there's no way you can really provide a complete picture. No way that a complete picture can be really offered. Should you Should you ignore standardized tests, the job of the HR personnel becomes much more ambiguous. In addition, in my experience, ideas only make up for a small percentage of the work, but what really matters is the effort you put into your assignment. Therefore, it makes sense, since it makes sense to give a standardized test. Okay. High school. Okay, so this would be an example of an answer. Okay, here we're talking about Raymond's perspective, why we agree with him. Then we're talking and we're complementing more about Raymond's perspective. We're talking about it. And then we talk about Monique's perspective that we find less convincing, and we talk about why we don't agree with that. Okay, so here we have 200 words. I think that would be enough uh, for this assignment. I don't know if you have any questions here.
No, teacher.
Okay, so here. Okay, so we're gonna do another one. We're gonna have graded essay. Sorry, it's academic discussion. Okay, let's do this one. We're gonna have 15 minutes, please.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gmail tutorial. In this video, we will see that how by using a Gmail account, we can find a lost device. So the theory of this whole process is that if you have a Gmail account through which you are signed into a particular device, let's say your phone, and if it is lost, then using that Gmail account and any other device, you can actually find that particular device. So the process is pretty simple. Make sure you're logged into your Gmail account. Click on your profile picture. Go to manage your Google account. Go to security. And once you're in security, scroll all the way to your devices and click on find a lost device. So since the laptop with which we are logged in is actually currently we are using, so this is the only device that will be shown which we can use to actually find. So we can review the events. Just check Gmail account through which you are signed into a particular device. Let's say
Okay, so please send me what you wrote. Please send me what you wrote, please. Okay.
Teacher, I send it to you by WhatsApp.
So it says,
Ya en 2 minutos.
okay, so it says this week we're focusing on social media. Social media becomes an increasingly common source of news. Traditional journalism's role has come into question. Social media provides access to news, allowing anyone to share information. However, social media news is often criticized for lacking standards of traditional journalism, such as fact-checking and objectivity, which this news. Okay, so you chose, let me see. First of all. Okay, principal perspective advocating that social media gives a society greater information about news. Okay, you should put here like deeply resonates with me or something like that. Okay, because you're talking about principal's perspective. You're explaining what is his perspective, but you don't say if you agree or you don't agree with that. You're only mentioning that. So you should put here deeply resonates with me or uh, deeply
Teacher, I put it that in the second sentence.
okay. Okay, so advocating what is this here? Since?
Yeah, since every person with a smartphone.
Okay, since, but you don't use a comma here. You don't need to
Okay.
use a comma. Since every person with a smartphone could easily access. Oh, you're putting a full point here in a sim. Oh no. So you need to place a comma before since, not after. Okay. So about news, since every person with a smartphone can easily find access to find update news at any time. Deeply resonate with me. Okay, deeply resonate with. Okay, so that correction. My opinion, social media has reached to a point that is a main tool for communication. Comparing to traditional journalism, it cannot replace trustworthiness information of a daily newspaper. What is this? Like, Comey states that. Where does that belong?
In journalism, after journalism. So it says, comparing to traditional journalism, Corinne states that it cannot replace trustworthiness information of a daily newspaper.
Okay. But in terms of reaching to more people quicker, in my opinion, it is faster upgrading news in social media than in a newspaper, which is a physical paper that people need to pay it for it in most cases. Okay. Okay, we need to write more though. Okay, let's try to write more. So we're gonna do one more, but you're only gonna have 10 minutes, but please write more. Okay, we're gonna do the last one here. You're gonna have 10 minutes. Okay, so that's what you get in the test. So please be ready. We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold on. Okay, your nuclear politics. Let's begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, please send me your work. Okay, great. Here it is. Okay, this is much larger. Okay, much better. Hold on. So it says Regan thinks that nuclear non-proliferation treaties are crucial for maintaining peace in war. That definitely resonates with me since the development of nuclear weapons and technology are for a specific use in wars. Great. An article of National Geographic gave important information about the places that they are functioning with nuclear power. They told that the risks of accidents that could happen is very high and the consequences with radiation will be devastating. I would use here instead of will, would, because you're talking about a possibility. Could happen is very high. So the risk is very high and the consequences would be devastating because you're not talking about something that will happen. Instead, you're talking about something that would happen potentially. Okay. On the other hand, Quincy puts in discussion that some countries need a more efficient source of energy to develop their country in a modern way. Talking about peaceful nuclear energy doesn't have all the security requirements to be that safe since it's a risky function. Okay. Talking about peaceful nuclear energy doesn't have all the security requirements to be that safe since it's risky function. Okay, I get what you're trying to say. Talking about peaceful nuclear energy doesn't have all the security requirements. I would say like talking about peaceful nuclear energy uh is uh uh it is we could say like something like it is absurd to talk about peaceful nuclear energy because it has other functions and countries that use that nuclear energy could very well produce uh, secretly nuclear weapons or something like that. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say though, but it's not like I get it, but I would improve that. Okay, but other than that, I think that you've improved a lot. Okay, so let's end the class here. Any questions so far?
No, teacher.
Okay,
Thank you for the class.